Good morning, Elizabeth. I had your question and I'm trying to answer that through this video recording. Hope it will be helpful. This is an important question for your understanding, holistic understanding of the course, and this will be a good final question also. So I need you to pull your attention this portion. So the function is given, but with a domain restriction here. This is what we call. So when you have a domain restriction, you must have a range restriction. This will ensue a range restriction in f inverse of x, right? That is a must, because what do we know? F of x domain will be f inverse range. F of x range will be f inverse domain. So they have that kind of relationship, right? So I suggest before we do any calculations algebraically, let's go ahead and try to graph that function. So remember our transformations. We do have good old x squared function, and we move it 7 steps left, right? Not 7 steps up, because it's an inside operation. So then the function will become x plus 7 quantity square will become, if there is no domain restriction, probably like that. Okay, so this function will be our f of x, x plus 7 quantity square. However, they're saying that x must be greater than or equal to -7. Then, in that case, I can't have this x values. So with the domain restriction, of x is greater than or equal to -7, f of x, x plus 7 quantity square will become just this, one hand of the parabola. So this is my f of x, x plus 7 square, and x is greater than or equal to -7. This is -7. Okay. So then, if that's the case, right, then my f inverse, so I can align like this. Remember, the f and f inverse are symmetric with respect to y equals x. So then my f inverse will start from here, -7, and it will be something like that. So this will be my f of x, this will be my f inverse of x as shape in terms of graphically. So how are we going to get that? Let's try to answer that question by solving algebraically. All right, so then f of x will have x plus 7 square, y equals x plus 7 square, switch in x and y's, right? And then we would like to solve for y at this point, right? So we take the square roots, both sides. Then we're going to end up square root of x equal to y plus 7. However, I'm going to have here plus or minus square root of x, right? And then y will be equal to negative square root of x, -7. Y also be equal to, let's put it in a different color, positive square root of x, -7. So you would say that if there is no restriction, Okay, we would say this if there is no restriction. However, we do have a restriction. Remember, our x values will be greater than equal to -7. So then I'm not going to have this guy here. So this will be the only answer I'm going to have. All right. So then going backwards, because f of x, if you look at your f of x, right, up here, has a range going from 0 to infinity. F of x domain was 0 included to infinity. That will be the f inverse of x. Oh no, f of x range, sorry. That, oh. Alright, x range, yep, range, and that will be f inverse of x domain 0 to infinity. Alright, so then hopefully that answers your question by considering and putting the check marks here, your final figures. Hope it helps.